If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to Valencia Career Mode episode number 4 here on FIFA 16. Today is solely transfers. We had a full month between the end of the pre-season friendly tournament and the beginning of the La Liga season. As such, considering the amount of changes we wanted to make to the squad, which aren't too many, but we have a variety of different targets in the various positions that we're looking to improve in, so there are quite a few deals to attempt to get done. And as you can see, Hector Bellerin's contract has been accepted, but we're holding off because Hugo Mayo, as I mentioned yesterday, is my main target for that right-back spot. We are trying to bring David Silva back to Valencia. There were a few people complaining in the comments section yesterday saying David Silva back to Valencia is not a very realistic transfer, but I tend to think that, you know, it could genuinely happen. He's getting on now. He's approaching his 30s, and there are plenty of players that go back to former size later on in their career, and I genuinely think that David Silva, if offered the opportunity, and Valencia were in a position to offer him the sort of wages he would want, would be open to going back to the Valencia side, the La Liga team, because obviously they have been taken over in real life, have a lot of financial clout, are in a decent position when it comes to the strength of their squad, as we've seen in this series with the amount of quality players we have at our disposal. So I think it's a deal that could genuinely happen. We are turning down here, though, an offer for Sofiane Feghouli. He obviously is having his contract expire at the end of this season, which is obviously how we bought him at Wolfsburg on a free. So I'm going to try and offer him a new deal. He wants a 2-year extension plus £80,000 a week. Completely fine to offer him that, no qualms whatsoever. We know that he's a decent talent and worthy of offering a new contract. Diego Alves has had an offer in for him, but we're rejecting that. He's going to be our starting goalkeeper. Anderita Rathbay, we're still trying to work out a potential deal for. We can, if we get David Silva, I can only afford to bring in one other player that is not that expensive, so that would either be Hugo Mayo or Bailey, the centre-back. So if we bring David Silva in, we won't be able to buy another central midfielder, but I'm continuing on with the negotiations for the other central midfielders and the centre-back, etc., just in case David Silva deal falls through. We've had the offer accepted, financial, as in bid-wise, and we're offering him a contract as we speak. But as you can see, Sofiane Fegouli's turned down the opportunity to sign a new contract. He's unsure of his future right now, so we'll wait a little bit and see what happens with that. Pablo Piatti hasn't offered him for him yet. They're from Schalke. We haven't yet been able to play with him as he was at the Copa America during pre-season, as was Diego Alves. I mistakenly called it the Copa del Rey in the last episode, which I got called up on in the comments. And you guys know by now that occasionally I have a slip of the tongue. I do so many different commentaries in so many different series, it's hard to get everything right all of the time, and things like that are just genuinely a slip of the tongue. Obviously, we are involved in the Copa del Rey this year at Valencia, but our centre-back, or not our centre-back, our goalkeeper and our left winger were involved in the Copa America in pre-season. Training is still going strong, though, with a variety of our youngsters. David Silva rejected my offer of £170,000 a week. Said he was quite happy where he was, but would be willing to renegotiate, which normally means give me some more money. So that's what we're trying to do. So you can see the transfer offer now for Hugo Mayo has been accepted, so we're going to offer him a contract. He wants 70 grand a week. I'm quite happy to offer him that, to be completely honest. That's twice what he's currently on at Celta Vigo, but still not that much a week for a first-team right-back, so quite happy to offer him that. And as you can see, the offer for Bailey has been accepted as well. He only wants 35 grand a week, but for some reason I offered him 30. I think just trying to save as much money as possible to ensure we have enough funds available to try and sign David Silva should he eventually decide that he wants to sign a contract. We've had the transfer bid accepted for Anderita Rathbay here, and we're offering him a contract, £90,000 a week, which again isn't that much for a first-team potential midfielder. Thiago Alcantara is a backup option if the David Silva deal falls through. He is doing the same. Feels very settled where he is, and said that he felt comfortable in Germany and that he felt valued as a player where he was. So offering him a little bit more money. This is a final contract offer I was willing to put to David Silva, £200,000 a week. We'll wait and see if he accepts that. Bailey did want to accept 30 grand, wanted the extra 5k a week, which is fine. Completely happy to offer him that, and we'll wait and see what happens with that particular deal. Hugo Mayo is confirmed. £11 million. He comes into the club, so we have a new starting right back. Still stalling on Ander Iturraspe, who's accepted the contract offer, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And with Ignacio Camacho as well, he's accepted the contract offer, but everything hangs in the balance with regards to David Silva. I was unsure as to whether David Silva was going to accept the 200 grand contract, so I threw in a random bid for Juan Mata, who obviously, again, is another former player of Valencia. This one perhaps a little less realistic than David Silva. Juan Mata is very settled at Manchester United, obviously was a fantastic talent at Chelsea, and inexplicably, Jose Mourinho sold him to Manchester United. I don't think many Chelsea fans have forgiven him yet for selling Mata, because he was a fan favourite for sure, but unfortunately he did. Thiago Alcantara still trying to work out a contract offer with him, but an offer in here for Sergio Ayala from from Osasuna. Quite happy to let him go, but would like to maximise the potential move from him. David Silva offer has been accepted, but even with the alteration of the transfer budget, we don't yet have enough to be able to bring him in. So still stalling with Ander Iturraspe, stalling with... no, we're accepting the Bailey offer actually, which means we now don't have the funds to be able to bring in David Silva. So we need to sell on someone else if we want to bring in David Silva as things stand. Thiago Alcantara, though, has accepted his contract offer, and because David Silva was so in the balance and we weren't sure, and there weren't that many other players I wanted to sell, I've decided to go with Thiago Alcantara. He's younger, has probably the same potential to get up to where David Silva is, around about 88. So we've gone with Thiago Alcantara instead. He's returning to Spain. Probably I don't know whether it's the more realistic move than David Silva. I would have preferred David Silva, but you can understand, I'm sure, why we went with Thiago. With him being younger, with him being more suited to the 4-3-3 formation that we wanted to play, with 2 centre mids and a CDM, or 2 CDMs and a centre mid, kind of leaning away from doing 2 CMs and a cam. I think that's a little bit too adventurous when it comes to going forward and getting caught on the counter, etc. I would like to have some safety with at least one central defensive midfielder in the side. So Sofiane Feghouli again has decided that he may want to stay. He's unsure that he wants to leave now. So I thought, well, all right. We'll offer you a new contract, and we'll try and give him a little bit more money. He wanted 80, and I think I offered him in the end 100 grand. I may even show you the footage of me doing so. I can't quite remember. We had an offer in for him from Marseille, and we counted 25 million, but they decided he wasn't worth that. So in the end, the interest from Marseille disappeared. We're having a loan offer here from Fran Villalba from Dagenham and Redbridge. So he's gone. He's going to go out on loan to the lower leagues in Spain. And then the board come to me about the Feghouli contract refusal problem as well, and they've said that he's unsure. So I've had it confirmed from the player that he's not sure whether he wants to sign or not, and we've had it confirmed from the board that they're not sure whether he wants to sign or not. So it's kind of a saga here with Sofiane Feghouli. In the Wolfsburg series, he did leave on a pre-contract and decided he didn't want to stay at Valencia, and obviously it was us that he came to at Valencia. So we are going to offer him 100 grand a week, which is a big improvement on what he's already on, and hopefully he'll accept that, and then he'll stay, and that saga will be over. But as you can see there, Feghouli refuses to negotiate, so I think I'm going to be forced to sell him now whilst we can get some money for him, rather than waiting and then finding that we aren't able to get money for him and he leaves on a free in the summer. So yeah, Sofiane Feghouli looks like he's going to be leaving us, so we may be looking for a new right-sided midfielder in the upcoming transfer episode. I think tomorrow's episode is going to be the last one. We've got 2 games in the transfer window, and then it's transfer deadline day. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Feghouli. I haven't recorded that as of yet, so we'll wait and see. Counter offering 27 for Chelsea though, with Sofiane Feghouli, but they decided he wasn't worth that and kind of cooled their interest. We get an offer finally though for Antonio Barrahan. We are obviously trying to move him on, considering we've brought in Hugo Mayo from Celta Vigo. You guys wanted me to move on Barrahan and strengthen at right back, and that's exactly what we've now done. Carlos Acapulco is going to be going to Albacete as well, so he's leaving us, and we've had an offer in for Rodrigo from Marseille. They've cooled their interest in Sofiane Feghouli and have switched their attentions to my other winger on the other side of the midfield, with Rodrigo being a left-sided midfielder for us, obviously, in our starting 11. We're not going to be going into the Rayo Vallecano game today. That's going to be all for today's episode. Feel free to drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course. Let me know any potential signings we could get at right mid or right wing if Sofiane Feghouli moves on. It is an if right now because nobody seems to be matching my valuation of him, and I don't really want to sell him for base value because, well, we're going to need to bring in a quality replacement, and 12 to 15 million pounds isn't going to be enough to bring in a quality replacement. So I would like to get 20 million pounds plus for him if I can. If not, I'm probably going to end up keeping him till January and then letting him leave on a pre-contract or trying to renegotiate at some point throughout the season with regard to contracts. So that's going to be all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, of course, and subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be a My Player video tonight. We are starting the new season at Everton, so hopefully you guys will be keen to watch that. That'll be in your sub boxes about 8 PM, and I'll be streaming Football Manager again this evening over on twitch.tv/Chesnoid Gaming. Links are in the description, as well as the ones that are on your screen right now to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, etc. And obviously to the No ID merchandise store as well. But for now, I'll see you next time.